Warning: the following reading contains content that some listeners may find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised. In the beginning, there was darkness, and from that darkness came the first god, the goddess. She was light, not to be confused with the day. This goddess was literally the light existing before the creation of the sun. She was Soray. She was not a typical alicorn like Celestia or Luna. She was an ethereal blue goddess that filled the entire sky. She was light itself. Soray soon created the earth. She looked upon the land she created, and the goddess felt the first emotion ever felt: loneliness. From her temple she bore 4 entities. The first one was Betham Adorno. The second was Wilcom Artem. The third was Soho Hazik. The fourth was... These were the Barons of Bedlam. The hospital's walls were adorned with the soft glow of pastel colors, a gentle reminder of the comfort and care that filled the hearts of the ponies who worked within. The room was quiet, save for the steady beep of the heart monitor that had become a lullaby to the unchanging rhythm of life and stillness. The curtains fluttered slightly, allowing a beam of sunlight to caress the form lying on the hospital bed. It was a bat pony mare with black coating. Her mane, tail, and wings, which would have once flown with fertility, were now limp and lifeless, a stark contrast to the sparkling white bandages that wrapped around her head. All was quiet until a pony walked in. The pony was a male unicorn with a brown coat. He had a few gray streaks in his dreadlocks and tail. His eyes locked on the mare lying in the hospital bed. "That has to be her," he said. Then he approached the hospital bed. He looked at the mare with a look of sorrow in his eyes. He sighs, then shuts his eyes. His horn ignites with a yellow magical aura. Within seconds, the mare wakes up with a gasp and immediately sits up. The sound of the heart monitor increases its speed rapidly. The stallion quickly opens his eyes. "Hey, it's okay. It's okay," he said, trying to calm her down. The mare looks over and sees the stallion. He gives her a kind smile to assure her that it's going to be okay. After a moment passes, the mare comes down and the heart monitor goes back to normal speed. "You're Alma, right?" the stallion asked. The mare, Alma, nodded slowly.
"Yes?"
she answered softly. She looked around in confusion.
"Where am I?"
she asked. "You're in a hospital. You've been in a coma for quite some time now," the stallion answered.
"A coma? How? What happened to me?"
Alma asked. "You got a nasty head injury," the stallion answered. Alma noticed that the stallion looked very familiar. It wasn't long before she recognized him.
Ambelo?"
she asked, her eyes widening a bit. The stallion shook his head. "Yes, but no. That's a false name I went by when I was in Luna's royal guard. Truth be told, I was never a real royal guard," the stallion answered. Alma frowns a bit in confusion.
"If your name's not Ambelo, then who are you?"
she asked. "My real name is Tyrius," the stallion answered. He took a step closer, his expression more serious. "Alma, I need you to listen to me very carefully. This will be a lot to take in," he added. Alma nodded, then Tyrius began to explain. "Years ago, I was on a trip in Appaloosa, but then I got lost in the woods. I set up camp for a while, but then I discovered a cave. I don't know why, but it felt as if something was calling me to the cave. I went into it, not knowing I was about to awaken something so sadistically evil. I had to use my magic to see as the cave was very dark and cold. It wasn't very long before my magic suddenly stopped working. It had gone out like a flame. I started to get this feeling as if I were being watched. Little did I know, I really was. Tyrius stopped for a second, Alma looking at him with wide eyes. Tyrius continued to explain. That's when I saw these two red eyes in the darkness. They looked at me as if they were staring right through my soul. I then felt something wrap around my leg. I looked down and saw what looked like a pitch black coil. Another one wrapped around my other leg. I tried to shake them off, but to no avail. I tried to scream, but another coil wrapped around my mouth, muffling my voice. Next, the coils wrapped around my entire body. Just before I passed out, I saw a figure change into a pony. Its horn was crooked and sickly. The brown fur it had was so dark it was almost pitch black. Its mane was pitch black and so long it went over its shoulders. It also had huge bat-like wings. The figure before me had taken my form. I managed to ask who it was. It told me its name was Typhon. Tyrius finished. Alma's eyes widened in shock and disbelief. She immediately recognized that name, Typhon. I've been tracking that bastard down ever since. I posed as a royal guard to gather more information. That's where I met you years ago. I heard about Typhon's cult following, the Tadema. I got information that they were in Ponyville at your father's house. I was on my way, but I arrived too late. The house was empty, but I saw the aftermath. Tyrius said with a minor look of disappointment and anger. Alma looks down at the floor. She remembers everything that happened that night. That son of a bitch Jara and his lackeys making her father summon that evil bastard Typhon. Suddenly, something more important came to her mind. Her big sister, Stella.
My sister? Stella? Where is she?
Alma asked, looking from the floor to Tyrius. Tyrius knew this question would come. He lets out a breath, looking at Alma with a look of sorrow. I'm sorry, Alma, but Stella was killed by the Tadema. He answered. Alma's eyes widen and she lets out a shaky breath.
No, please, tell me that's not true.
She said, her voice breaking. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Jara and his lackeys got to her. Tyrius replied. Tears escape Alma's eyes and she lets out another shaky breath. Tyrius begins to reach out to her. Suddenly, Alma yells in anguish and fury. She gets out of the hospital bed, then flips the bed over. Out of anguish and fury, she begins trashing her room, breaking and knocking over whatever she can. Tyrius stands there in silence, watching her. He chooses not to interfere, letting her get it all out. A few minutes pass, then Alma sits and starts sobbing.
Those fuckers! Why, Stella? That should have been me!
She shrieked. Tyrius approaches Alma, wrapping one of his front legs around her, pulling her into a comforting hug. I'm so sorry, Alma. I really am. Tyrius said, continuing to let Alma let it all out. A few minutes pass and Alma manages to compose herself. She sniffles, her eyes red from sobbing a lot. Tyrius removes his front leg from around her. I know you're in the middle of grieving, but there's something else you should know, he said. Alma got up and turned to face him.
What?
She asked, wiping the tears from her eyes. Your sister Stella was engaged to a unicorn named Tezzy Scribbles. You see, Tezzy went missing after Stella's death. Her body wasn't found with Jara's, his lackeys, nor your sister's. I've heard a few ponies say they witnessed her shop catching fire and exploding. She had a few burns but could still stand. She walked off into the night and no one has seen her ever since, Tyrius said. Alma was shocked by all of this. She couldn't find any words to say. Listen, we need to find Tezzy before Typhon does. If that bastard gets to her before we do, I don't know what's going to happen, Tyrius said. Then he used his magic to pull out a book from his saddlebag.
What is that?
Alma asked, studying the book. This is a spell book I found a few years ago. It has a lot of information on Typhon. I've been learning a lot about him for a while. There's a spell in here that leads to Typhon's domain, Tyrius explained. Alma's eyes widened a bit.
If we go to Typhon's domain, then we confront him and stop him for good,
Alma said, putting two and two together. Exactly. It may take a while for me to master this spell, but when I do, we're going to stop Typhon for good. His evil influence will come to an end, Tyrius replied with a slight frown. Alma's expression turned serious. She was ready and willing to stop Typhon.
Let's do it. That motherfucker is responsible for all of this. He's going to fucking pay,
she said, gritting her teeth. It's a dark night on the streets of Manhattan. The streets and sidewalks seem empty except for a badly injured stallion who is dragging himself across the concrete, desperately trying to get away from some pony. The stallion's rear legs were broken with their bones sticking out. A trail of blood was behind him. The stallion also had blood running down his forehead.
Oh, Celestia!
He yelled in fear. Suddenly, hoofsteps are heard from behind him. The stallion's eyes widened and he looked behind him. Just a few feet away is a mare with a cyan coat. She's wearing a pale yellow hoodie. The hoodie was once covered in paint stains. Now it's covered in blood. The mare had an orange mane and tail with gray streaks in both. The mare continues her way to the stallion. The stallion's eyes widen and he desperately turns and continues to drag himself on the concrete, trying to get away from the mare. The mare smiles sadistically as she closes in on the stallion. After a few seconds, the mare ignites her broken horn with magic. A magical aura appears on the stallion. He suddenly finds himself unable to move. Before he can say anything else, he's suddenly jerked into the air and forced to face the mare. He can see the coldness in the mare's eyes.
No! Please, don't do this!
He shrieked, begging for mercy. The mare's facial expression turned into a serious one with a frown.
You sick fuck. Did you fucking listen to little Philly? You made watch you force yourself on her mother? Begging you to stop after you broke into their fucking apartment?
The mare asked, rage in her voice. The stallion recoiled at the mare's voice.
Sick fucks like you don't deserve mercy,
the mare said. Then without warning, the stallion's head was forcefully twisted and there was a snap. The mare had snapped his neck with her magic, killing him. However, she wasn't done with him. The stallion's head came off with a jerk, making blood gush everywhere. The mare stopped using her magic, letting the body of the stallion and his head drop to the ground. The scent of blood hung in the air, but the mare didn't let it bother her. She's been doing this for years now, and she no longer cares. She does a quick stretch. Just as she's about to move on, she suddenly hears a voice.
Hello, Tezzy Scribbles.
It said with a chuckle. The mare, Tezzy Scribbles, quickly looks around. Her eyes scan for a figure, but she doesn't see any pony.
Who's there? And how the fuck do you know my name?
She asked with a frown, still looking around.
I've been watching you for a long time, Tezzy. I can feel your anger, hatred, and pain.
The voice said.
Look, asshole, I don't have time for games. Show yourself!
Tezzy said, her voice rising.
Very well.
The voice said. Tezzy looked to her left and her right, but she didn't see any pony.
Are you going to keep playing games with me? I don't have time for this shit!
Tezzy yelled, getting angry.
What a temper you have. Look behind you.
The voice said. Cautiously, Tezzy turned around and saw a tall figure looking down at her. The figure had a dark brown coat. His eyes were red with black dots. He had a crooked horn and bat-like wings. His mane was long enough to reach his shoulders.
Hello, Tezzy.
The figure said, looking down at her.
Who the fuck are you?
Tezzy asked with a frown.
I've gone by many names, but you can call me Typhon.
The figure replied with a smile.
What do you want?
Tezzy asked, still frowning.
I simply want to help you, my dear friend. I can give you something that will erase your pain, anger, and hatred.
Typhon said.
What the fuck could you possibly give me? I don't have time for your bullshit. Either tell me what you really want or I'll fucking kill you!
Tezzy yelled.
Oh, Tezzy, you have quite a fire in you. I can give you something you really want if you listen to what I have to say.
Typhon said. Tezzy frowned even more. She was about to say something until Typhon mentioned a name that stopped her in her tracks.
Would the name Stella mean anything to you?
Typhon asked. Tezzy's frown immediately went away and her eyes widened.
Ah, now I have your attention. I know you and Stella were engaged. I know the pain you felt when she was killed by Jara that night at your shop.
Tezzy frowned and took a step forward.
Don't you fucking dare speak of her death!
She yelled, making Typhon chuckle.
Let me finish, Tezzy. I think you'll like what I have to say next.
Typhon replied. Tezzy still frowned.
What if I told you that I could bring your beloved Stella back? Would that interest you?
Typhon asked.
Bullshit.
Tezzy said with skepticism, but Typhon could hear the interest in her voice.
Oh, my dear Tezzy, I assure you that what I'm saying is not, as you say, bullshit. I could bring Stella back to you, but I will need your trust,
he said, trying to hold back a grin. Tezzy wants to believe Typhon, but some part of her is still skeptical. If Typhon could really bring back Stella, then she will need to see it for herself.
If you can really bring Stella back, then I'm going to need proof,
she said with a frown. Typhon chuckles.
Very well. I'll show you,
he said, then his horn ignited with magic. After a few seconds, everything around them turns pitch black. Tezzy's eyes widen a bit and she frantically looks around.
What is this? What are you doing?
Typhon doesn't answer. Soon enough, everything was pitch black, except for a small light floating in the distance.
Where the fuck are we?
Tezzy demanded.
Welcome to my dimension, Tezzy. Now, about that proof,
Typhon said, then he lifted one of his hooves. He takes a star from it. Tezzy watches with caution and interest. Typhon lets the star float for a few seconds, then suddenly the star begins to form into the shape of a mare. The mare's body glows a bright white color. After a few seconds pass, the mare's body stops glowing. A mare with a gray coat, bat wings, pointy ears, and a blue mane stands there. Tezzy immediately recognizes the mare. It was Stella. Stella groans and rubs her head.
Where am I?
She asked, confused. A shaky breath escapes Tezzy's lips. Her eyes begin to water. When Stella stops rubbing her head, her eyes lock onto Tezzy.
Tezzy?
Stella asked, her eyes widening. Tezzy and Stella look at each other in what feels like forever. Was this actually real or a dream? If it was a dream, neither one of them wanted to wake up. Stella starts sobbing and runs to Tezzy. When she reaches her, she pulls Tezzy into a tight hug.
Tezzy! I missed you so much!
Stella said through tears. Tezzy's eyes are wide. Within seconds, tears roll down her face.
Stella!
She yelled, hugging Stella back just as tight. Tezzy started sobbing for the first time in decades. Neither she nor Stella could believe it was real. Both had the mutual feeling of just wanting to hug each other forever and ever. Suddenly, Stella is ripped away from Tezzy. She screamed.
No, Stella!
Tezzy shrieked. Stella fades into the darkness. Tezzy looks at Typhon fiercely with anger in her eyes.
You bastard! Why did you do that?
She asked angrily. Typhon grins at her.
Don't be hasty, Tezzy. As I said, I could bring your beloved Stella back, but it comes with a price.
He said. Tezzy kept her angry gaze on him.
What fucking price?
She asked.
The only way to bring back a dead pony from the grave is to sacrifice a willing soul,
Typhon said. Tezzy's frown immediately falters.
However,
Typhon continued.
The soul must have no doubts in their mind that they want to sacrifice themselves, or the spell will not work.
He finished. Tezzy looks down after hearing this. Sacrificing a willing soul? She's killed many times before, but that was only for those who deserved it. She just isn't sure if she can sacrifice a willing soul.
There's gotta be another way. I can't just sacrifice an innocent soul.
Tezzy said with hesitation.
I'm sorry, my dear Tezzy. This is the only way. It's either this or you never get to see your beloved Stella again.
Typhon said, grinning evilly. Tezzy frowns, then she looks down. Many thoughts fill her head. One side of her is telling her to take the deal, but another side of her is telling her not to. She feels conflicted. Typhon awaits her answer. After a minute passes, Tezzy sighs.
Fuck it.
She said, then looked up at Typhon.
Well?
Typhon asked, still grinning. Before Tezzy could answer, something rammed into Typhon's side.
Oh!
Typhon yelled, stumbling back a few steps. Tezzy's eyes widen as she looks over to see a stallion frowning. The stallion is a brown unicorn with black dreadlocks with gray streaks in them. His tail had the same pattern. She also saw a bad pony mare with black fur and a blue and purple mane.
Who the fuck are you guys?
Tezzy asked.
I'm Alma.
The mare said, introducing herself.
And this is Tyrius.
She added, gesturing to the stallion.
You're Tezzy Scribbles, right?
Tyrius asked, looking at Tezzy.
Yeah? How do you know my name?
Tezzy asked.
I know everything. You and Stella were engaged, but she was killed by Jara. Enraged, you killed him and have been on a violent killing spree for years.
Tyrius said.
Stella was my older sister.
Alma explained, catching Tezzy's attention.
Stella mentioned she had a sister, but...
Tezzy trailed off.
I'm sorry we had to meet like this. But that bastard Typhon ruined me and my family's lives. He's the cause of this. He's the cause of everything that happened.
Alma said with a frown. All of this could have been avoided if I didn't go to that damn cave years ago. Tyrius sighed.
Hey, none of this is your fault. Don't blame yourself.
Alma said. Tyrius looked at Alma, then nodded.
Tezzy Typhon is an evil and dangerous entity. He needs to be stopped.
Alma said. Tezzy's eyes widened a bit.
He came to me a while ago and offered to resurrect Stella.
Tezzy said. Before Alma could reply, Stella suddenly reappeared from the darkness, falling to the ground with a thud. Tezzy was the first to notice her.
Stella!
Stella wasted no time and quickly approached Tezzy. The two shared another tight hug.
Tezzy, what's happening?
Stella asked.
It's a lot.
Tezzy replied. Suddenly, Stella sees Alma and her eyes widened. She gently pulls away from her hug with Tezzy. Alma's eyes are wide with disbelief and shock.
Is that really you?
Stella asked. Alma slowly nodded, tears welling up in her eyes. Stella's eyes filled with tears as well. They quickly hugged, holding each other tightly.
Alma, I can't believe it's you!
Stella said with a sob.
I'm sorry, Stella. I wish I could have been there.
Alma replied with a sob. For the first time in years, a small smile formed across Tezzy's face. However, it didn't last long. A loud
Enough!
was heard, immediately catching their attention. All four ponies frowned as Typhon glared at them. It wasn't long before he recognized Tyrius and Alma.
You two,
He said, grinning evilly.
You son of a bitch! You ruined my life! My family's life! You fucking followers killed my sister!
Alma yelled in anger.
your pathetic and weak stallion of a father broke the code. He knew what would happen when he broke it. That's all on him. He deserved to suffer and die with that cancer of his.
Typhon said with a sadistic smile.
Don't you dare speak ill of our father, you piece of shit!
Stella yelled.
Oh, did I strike a nerve?
Typhon asked, then chuckled evilly. He then looked at Tyrius, who was frowning at him.
Ah, Tyrius. I never got the chance to thank you for letting me use your form. I needed a physical body.
He said.
That's a mistake I wish I never made.
Tyrius said, looking down. He then looked at Typhon again, anger and determination in his eyes.
It's over, Typhon. Your evil deeds end here.
He said.
You foolish pony. I'm just getting started. I was going to make a deal with Tezzy until you rudely interrupted. I was going to give her what she wanted.
Typhon said with a minor frown.
Bullshit! Tyrius and I read everything about you! You make false deals with ponies!
Alma yelled with a frown. Tezzy raised her eyebrows.
What? What are you talking about?
She asked. Tyrius looks back at Tezzy.
Tezzy, I know how you would love for Stella to be alive again, but Typhon was going to trick you into thinking he would resurrect Stella. But in reality, he was going to keep your soul for himself to restore his full power.
Tyrius explained. Alma nodded, confirming everything. Tezzy's eyes widened. Suddenly, Typhon started laughing. It was cold and evil. He looked at Tezzy with a cold and cruel smile.
Yes, it's true, Tezzy. Did you really think I would resurrect your beloved Stella?
Typhon asked cruelly.
You lied to me.
Tezzy said softly.
You should be honored. In all my years, I've never seen a soul so desperate, so pathetically eager to trade everything for a fantasy.
Typhon replied. Tezzy frowned and was about to reply, but the words wouldn't come out. Stella approaches Tezzy, placing a hoof on her cheek.
Tezzy.
Stella said, catching Tezzy's attention.
It's not true. You are not desperate. You are not pathetic. And you are so much stronger than he wants you to believe.
Stella said firmly and reassuringly. Tezzy's breath hitched, her vision blurring with tears.
But
Tezzy began to say.
No.
Stella's tone sharpened, cutting through the shadows like a blade.
Don't you dare let him decide who you are. He's nothing but lies and hunger. That's all he's ever been.
Stella said. Typhon's laugh rolled through the realm like thunder, low and venomous.
Oh, so noble, so protective.
His gaze slid to Stella, his grin stretching impossibly wide.
But you don't know her anymore, do you? You're clinging to a memory. A sweet, innocent Tezzy who died with you. The one standing here is not that pony.
Stella's jaw tightened.
You don't know.
Stella began to say, but Typhon cut her off.
Don't I?
Typhon's voice turned to a hiss as the shadows at his hoof swirled, rising into jagged shards of memory. They hung in the air, rippling with sickly light.
Let me show you.
The images slammed into Stella's mind. Tezzy standing over the bleeding body of a stallion, her horn dripping crimson. Another scene, darker still. Tezzy's face twisted in rage as she dragged the screaming pony into an alley. The next, her magic crushing the throat of a mare who sobbed for mercy. Rapists, killers, liars, monsters, and yet all wearing the face of the ponies.
She hunted them.
Typhon whispered, savoring each word.
Executed them. No judge, no trial. Just her deciding who lives and who dies.
Tezzy staggered back, her eyes wide, breath ragged.
They deserved.
Stella's breath trembled, torn between the urge to defend the weight of what she'd seen. Typhon stepped closer, his grin a blade.
See? Not the pony you loved, Stella. Just a murderer wearing her skin.
The shadows pressed in tighter, the realm's air suffocating under his words. Stella's eyes went wide at the visions, her ears folded back.
No, you're lying.
Her voice cracked, but she held her ground, glaring at Typhon. Tezzy's knees buckled, her head hanging low as her mane hid her face.
No.
She whispered, her voice trembled, thick with guilt.
He's not lying.
Stella blinked, stunned. Tears streamed down Tezzy's cheeks.
It's true. I did it. Every single one. I told myself they deserved it. And maybe they did, but...
Her voice broke, and she choked on the words.
I became something else after you died. Something I'm not proud of.
The realm was silent, but for her sobs. Even the shadows seemed to lean in, hungry for the break. Then, after a long, aching pause, Stella stepped forward. Without hesitation, she wrapped her front legs around Tezzy, pulling her close. Tezzy stiffened at first, but then buried her face against Stella's neck, shaking.
I still love you.
Stella whispered, her voice steady despite the tears glistening in her eyes.
You hear me? I will always love you. And it's never too late to change. Never.
The shadows around them rippled violently. Typhon's smile was gone, his eyes narrowing to burning slits. The air vibrated with his fury.
How touching.
He snarled, the realm itself trembling under his voice.
Clinging to sentiment, as if it will save you.
His hooves dug into the void beneath him, the darkness swirling into a storm.
You dare defy me with hope?
He asked. Tyrius stepped forward, his horn igniting with magic.
It's over, Typhon. You're going to be stopped once and for all.
His voice rang out, echoing through the realm. Typhon turned his gaze slowly toward him, an amused sneer creeping back across his face.
Stopped? By you?
His laughter dripped like poison.
I wore your skin for years, little unicorn. I was you. Do you really think you can destroy me?
Typhon asked. Tyrius didn't flinch, his stance widened, the magic in his horn glowing more intensely.
Yeah, and I'm going to fucking prove it. It's time to correct the mistake I made years ago.
Tyrius yelled. Alma and Tezzy quickly joined his side. Alma stepped forward, fangs bared, her wings flaring wide.
You're not fighting him alone,
She said. Tezzy moved up beside her, her stance defiant. The jagged stump of her broken horn still flickered faintly with pink light.
Broken horn or not, I can still fight.
She turned her head just enough to look at the ghostly bat pony behind her.
Stella, stay back, please.
Stella's form trembled, torn between obeying and refusing, but the fierce determination in Tezzy's eyes made her pause. Typhon chuckled darkly, his gaze sweeping over the three of them.
Do you foolish mortals really think you have the power to defeat me?
Typhon asked, grinning evilly. He then locked eyes with Tezzy.
You'll burn out what's left of that horn before you can even scratch me.
Tezzy narrowed her eyes, pink sparks snapping from her horn's shattered tip. Tyrius's golden magic flared again. Alma crouched low with her wings poised to strike, and Tezzy's aura began to build. Jagged, unstable, but pulsing with raw willpower. Typhon smirked, widened.
Then come, all of you.
The three of them moved at once. Tyrius surged forward at the center, horn blazing with golden magic. Alma leapt into the air, wings slicing through the oppressive air as she dove low to flank him. Tezzy galloped alongside Tyrius, her unstable magic sparkling like lightning, each step leaving scorched marks in the cracked earth. Typhon smirked and faltered. If anything, it deepened.
Fools.
His horn erupted in crimson light just as they closed in, the ground beneath them shattering under the force of his magic. The collision came in a flash of gold, green, and red, the realm itself shaking from the impact. The impact was deafening. Tyrius's golden beam slammed against Typhon's crimson magic, the two forces grinding against each other in a blinding storm of light. Sparks and shards of raw energy flew out in every direction, slicing into the ground and walls of the realm like molten glass. Alma dove in from the side, her fangs bared, wings snapping forward to drive her momentum. She struck Typhon's exposed flank, her hooves slamming into his ribs. The blow made him stagger half a step, but he caught her with the lash of his tail, sending her skidding across the ground.
Yeah!
She yelled.
Alma!
Tyrius shouted, straining to keep the beam struggle locked. Tezzy charged in on the opposite side, her horn flaring with dangerous pink light. The magic pulsed erratically, unstable but powerful, and she let it explode in a burst aimed right at Typhon's side. The blast caught him, searing into his brown fur, drawing a snarl from his throat.
Impressive.
Typhon growled, his eyes narrowing.
For something so broken.
Before she could recover, his horn flashed and a wave of crimson force hurled Tezzy backwards.
Ah!
She hit the ground hard, rolling, but forcing herself back up with a defiant glare. Tyrius gritted his teeth and poured more power into his magic, forcing Typhon back an inch. But Typhon's smirk returned.
Enough playing.
With a surge of overwhelming strength, Typhon shattered the beam struggle. the explosion tossing Tyrius into the air like a rag doll. Tyrius screamed. The realm quaked, cracks spidering through the ground as Typhon stepped forward, his presence swallowing the space between them. Tyrius crashed onto the jagged ground, pain flaring through his side, but he gritted his teeth and pushed himself back up. The magic in his horn flickered weakly at first, then surged as determination flared inside of him. Alma shook off the dust, wings fluttering fiercely, eyes blazing with fierce resolve.
We're not done yet!
She snarled, lunging back into the fray. Tezzy staggered to her hooves, her broken horn crackling with unstable magic that sparked wildly, illuminating the dark realm in sharp bursts.
Typhon won't break us,
she declared, voice raw but steady. Tyrius charged, horn glowing brighter than before, focusing his energy into a concentrated beam aimed straight at Typhon's chest. Alma circled wide, wings beating hard as she prepared to strike from above. Tezzy, weaving between shadows, summoned a jagged volley of magical shards, sharp, erratic bursts that danced unpredictably but with lethal intent.
You're still trying to fight? Can't you see that it's hopeless?
Typhon asked, his horn glowing a crimson shade of red. Typhon stomped a hoof onto the ground. A crimson torrent emerged from the ground, surprising the three of them.
What the?
Before Alma could finish, she, Tyrius, and Tezzy were struck by the torrent, knocking them back. They screamed, hitting the ground and skidding across it. Typhon laughs, amused by their attempts.
If you surrender, I can make your deaths quick. Just accept that you cannot stop me,
he said. Tyrius, still defiant, got up. His horn ignited with magic again. Typhon frowned in annoyance and anger.
Your defiance is annoying me. Just lie down and die already!
Typhon yelled, then he fired a crimson beam. Tyrius used his magic to create a shield, protecting him, Alma, and Tezzy.
Your little shield isn't going to save you,
Typhon yelled. Tezzy and Alma got up, still defiant and willing to fight. Stella watched with worry in her eyes.
We're not giving up! We'll never give up!
Alma yelled with defiance. Typhon frowned, then increased the power of the beam. Within seconds, the shield shattered and the beam struck all three ponies. They yelled.
No!
Stella shrieked. Typhon laughs evilly and stops the attack. Tyrius, Alma, and Tezzy are several feet back from where they originally were. They have lots of cuts and bruises. A bit of blood trickles down Tyrius' forehead. The three ponies struggle to get up.
Fuck. He's strong,
Tezzy said.
We can't give up. We'll beat him. We can do this.
Alma said. The three ponies got back to their hooves. Typhon frowns at this. Multiple spears made of magic appear.
Are those fucking spears?
Tezzy asked, her eyes wide.
Yes. Now die!
Typhon yelled. The magical spears shot forward towards them.
Look out!
Stella yelled. Tyrius quickly ignites his horn with magic. He, Alma, and Tezzy disappear.
What?
Typhon said in surprise. The three ponies reappear behind Typhon. Typhon's eyes darted behind him. The magical spears immediately changed their direction, still heading for Tyrius, Alma, and Tezzy. Typhon suddenly teleports.
Shit!
Tezzy yelled. The magical spears continued heading towards them. Alma looked at Tyrius.
Can you slow them down?
She asked.
I'll see what I can do,
Tyrius said, then his horn ignited with magic again. His yellow magical aura appeared around the magical spears and they began to slow down. After a few seconds, they finally came to a stop and clinked to the ground.
Impressive. No one has ever stopped my spears,"
said a familiar voice. They immediately recognized the voice and turned to see Typhon smiling darkly at them. The three ponies frowned.
Damn it! I managed to hit him earlier, but he's not going to let us get close enough to hurt him again.
Alma said.
There's gotta be some way.
Tezzy said. Alma looked at the magic spears on the ground. She picks one up and looks at it. An idea pops into her head.
I have an idea.
She said, catching Tyrius and Tezzy's attention.
I'll get him with this.
Alma said, showing them the spear. Stella hears this and her eyes widen.
Wait, please tell me you're not going to do what I think you're going to do.
Stella said, tears welling in her eyes. Alma turned to Stella with a sad look in her eyes.
I'm so sorry, Stella.
Alma whispered, her voice breaking.
I wasn't there when the Tadema took you from me and Dad. I should have protected you. I should have been stronger. If only I weren't in a coma all that time.
She swallowed hard, blinking back her own tears.
Alma, that wasn't your fault. Please.
Stella begged.
I wish we didn't have to meet like this in Typhon's realm, on the edge of darkness.
Her wings trembled as she stepped closer, lowering her head.
But I promise you, Stella, I'm going to make this right, even if it costs me everything.
She said. Tyrius and Tezzy's eyes widened a bit.
Goodbye, Stella. I love you. Take this.
Alma said, then she turned towards Typhon.
No, Alma, please don't do this!
Stella begged, tears leaking from her eyes. A tear escapes Alma's eye and she frowns. Without warning, she spreads her wings and flies towards Typhon as fast as she can.
"What is this?"
Typhon asked. Before he could do anything, Alma stepped Typhon in the chest with the magical spear. Typhon yelled in pain. Alma frowned angrily.
That was for everything you've done, you son of a...
Alma suddenly screamed in pain as she felt something sharp stab her in the stomach. Alma looks down to see Typhon had stabbed her with another magical spear. She looks back at Typhon with a defiant frown.
See you in Tartarus, you fuck.
She said weakly, but determined. Using all the strength she had left, she pushed the spear deeper into Typhon's chest, stabbing him in the heart. Typhon yelled, his eyes going wide. After a few seconds, his eyes rolled to the back of his head. Both he and Alma collapsed to the ground. The silence that followed was deafening. Typhon was no more, but sadly, Alma was no more either.
Alma!
Stella shrieked, rushing over to Alma's body. Alma's eyes were shut and minor blood trickled from her mouth. Stella started sobbing, deeply hurt and saddened that her sister was now gone. Tyrius is horrified. He can't believe that Alma's gone after everything. Suddenly, everything began to rumble as if there was an earthquake happening. Typhon's eyes started to glow red. Tyrius was quick to notice and his eyes widened.
No,
He said. Then Typhon's fur started to change to black.
Tyrius, what the fuck is going on?
Tezzy asked.
it's Typhon. He finally got his willing soul. Alma was willing to die to kill him, and because of that willingness, Typhon has his full power now.
Tyrius explained, making Tezzy's eyes go wide. Typhon suddenly starts getting bigger. Suddenly, Stella began to fade away.
No, Stella!
Tezzy yelled, rushing towards her. When she got close enough, she reached out, but Stella fully vanished, leaving no trace of her there.
No!
Tezzy yelled, her eyes beginning to fill with tears. Typhon kept getting bigger and bigger by the second. It wasn't long before he was now a giant monster. A giant alicorn made out of black smoke. Tyrius and Tezzy slowly began backing away. They now realize this is a fight they can't win.
We need to go.
Tyrius said, his eyes wide. Tezzy stands there, looking up at Typhon. She can't believe what she's seeing.
Now, Tezzy, we need to move.
Tyrius yelled. Tezzy snapped out of it. She and Tyrius start running as fast as they can. After running for a while, Tyrius sees a forest.
In there.
He yelled. Then he and Tezzy ran for the forest. When they reached it, they entered and quickly found a hiding spot. Tyrius quickly pulls out the spell book, frantically flipping through the pages with his magic.
There's gotta be something in here that can help us beat Typhon.
Tezzy slumps on the ground. She reflects on everything that had just happened. Stella was right near her, and she lost her again.
I lost her again.
She said, her voice breaking.
She was right there, and then she disappeared. I'm nothing without her.
She added. Tezzy was heartbroken and she felt hopeless. It was like her heart was shattered in a million pieces. She felt as if she wanted to give up and face reality. No miracle, magic, nothing could fix the pain she was going through. Tyrius finally finds a page in the book that interests him. He sees something about a goddess named Saray who created it all. There was also information about her children called the Barons of Bedlam. The first one was Betham Adorno. The second was Wilcom Artem. The third was Soho Hasek. Tyrius noticed the fourth one mentioned. While the name was crossed out, Tyrius could read the letters. The letters spelled the name, Typhon.
Holy fuck.
Tyrius said, his eyes wide. He looks at Tezzy, who still has a look of defeat on her face.
Tezzy, I think I know how we can stop Typhon. There are 3 beings called the Barons of Bedlam. They're the children of the goddess Saray. If I can summon them, they can stop Typhon.
He said.
What's the point? It's hopeless. I give up.
Tezzy said, looking at the ground in defeat.
No, Tezzy, we can't give up. We can still stop Typhon for good.
Tyrius said. Tezzy didn't respond.
Look, Tezzy, I know you were looking forward to being with Stella again. You and Stella were so happy and in love, but Typhon's influence ruined everything. We can't let him win.
Tyrius yelled, trying to get through to Tezzy. Tezzy slowly looked at him, a small hint of hope on her face.
We can do this, Tezzy. Stella would want you to keep up the fight. Even after Typhon showed her all the shit you've done, Stella still said she loved you. You can let Stella's death remain in vain, or you can help me defeat Typhon. Defeating Typhon will be justice for her.
Tyrius said. Tezzy looked at the ground, then at Tyrius. Her expression was serious.
How do we even know if this is going to work?
She asked.
The only way we can find out is if we summon the Barons.
Tyrius replied.
And what if they're evil just like Typhon? What if they decide to work together with Typhon by killing us both and taking over the world?
Tezzy asked.
There has to be a reason why Typhon's name is crossed out in this book. Think about it.
Tyrius replied. Tezzy was about to respond, but then she used her head. What if Tyrius is right? Could this work? There was only one way to find out.
Fuck it! Let's summon them!
Tezzy said. Tyrius nodded. He saw the words in the book to summon them. Tyrius's horn ignited with magic. Tezzy's broken horn ignited with magic as well. Tyrius began to chant the spell.
O lords of ages long forgot, awaken from your cryptic plot. By ancient rites and sacred flame, Rise, barons, and reclaim your name.
He yelled. Within seconds, 3 swirls of color sprang out from the book and into the air. Tyrius and Tezzy watched, their eyes wide.
Holy shit.
Tezzy said, not believing what she was seeing. After a few seconds, the sound of cackling is heard. Tyrius swallows hard, then the 3 barons appear. They were terrifying to look at.
Who summoned us?
The first baron asked.
We do.
Tyrius answered.
2 more ponies. What is your reason for summoning us? Give us a reason why we should end your measly lives.
The second baron demanded.
It's Typhon. Years ago, I entered a cave and encountered Typhon, and he took my form. His followers killed Tezzy Scribbles' fiancée Stella years ago. And now, because of a willing sacrifice to kill him, he's at full power, and we need your help to stop him. Please, help us.
Tyrius explained. There was silence for a bit. Finally, the third baron spoke.
Very well. We will help you. But it comes at a price, you measly mortal. We'll give you the spell to fix everything. But a willing soul is required. The willing soul can live a full life. But when they die, they must stay with us until their debt is paid.
The third baron said. Tezzy's eyes widened as she looks at Tyrius. Tyrius is frowning with a determined expression.
I'll do it,
he said without hesitation.
What? Tyrius?
Tezzy was cut off when Tyrius raised his hoof.
It has to be done, Tezzy. We're not debating this. I've made my decision. If I hadn't walked into that cave in the first place years ago, none of this would have happened,
he said.
What an eager soul you are. Take our power to do this spell,
the third baron said. Suddenly, 3 streaks of colors headed toward Tyrius. Before he could react, the colors entered him as if he had absorbed them. He let out a gasp.
We've given you the power. Don't try to weasel your way out of your debt when your time comes, mortal.
The first baron said, then all 3 of them started cackling. The 3 barons went back into the book.
I need to get started on the spell,
Tyrius said. Suddenly, Typhon appears looking down at them. Tezzy and Tyrius' eyes widen. Tezzy quickly steps forward, now frowning.
I'll keep him busy. Get started on that spell,
she said, her broken horn sparkling with pink magic. Tyrius nods, then shuts his eyes. He begins focusing and his horn starts igniting with magic. With all her might, Tezzy fires a beam at Typhon.
Take this, you bastard!
She yelled. The beam hits Typhon and he roars in pain or anger. Tezzy keeps firing beams at Typhon. Tezzy yelled as she continued firing. Tyrius continues to focus on the spell. The glow on his horn intensified.
Come on,
he said, hoping the spell would work soon. Tezzy kept firing more and more beams at Typhon. Having enough, Typhon fired a beam of his own at Tezzy.
Oh shit!
Tezzy yelled. She quickly jumps to the side, having dodged the beam just in time. Just as she was going to fire another beam, an invisible force pulled her forward.
Ah!
She yells in surprise. She quickly finds herself going into the air. Within seconds, she finds herself face to face in front of the giant Typhon. Tezzy tries to break free, but it's no use. She stops struggling, then sighs.
Go ahead. Do your worst, asshole.
She said with a smirk. Typhon's giant red glowing eyes squint at her for a few seconds. Tezzy closes her eyes, ready to embrace her death. Within seconds, her entire body is crushed as if something fell on her, killing her instantly. Her body falls to the ground.
No! Tezzy!
Tyrius yelled in shock. Typhon turns his attention to Tyrius. His horn glows a crimson red. Suddenly, Tyrius' horn lights up even brighter than before, but it's not the typical color of his magic. His horn swirls with cyan, orange, and red, the color of the Barons. Typhon fires a beam of magic at Tyrius. Tyrius gasped, falling to the ground. He gets up after a few seconds. He looks around and notices he's carrying a wagon behind him. It's the same wagon he had on his trip to Appaloosa. His eyes widened a bit. He then realizes that he's in the cave. The same cave where he first met that bastard Typhon.
No! No!
He yelled. Wasting no time, Tyrius immediately turned around and ran for the exit of the cave.
I can't have history repeat itself. I'm not making the same mistake again.
He yelled. When he reached the exit, Tyrius turned and fired a beam of magic towards some rocks. The rocks fell in front of the cave, blocking the entrance.
You're not waking up this time, you bastard,
Tyrius said, then turned.
Alma, Tezzy, Stella.
They can finally have the happy ending they deserve, he said. One day, Tyrius entered a shop that was all too familiar. A voice addressed him.
Welcome to Tez Studio, stranger. Can I help you find anything today?
It said, sounding very familiar. Tyrius looked over to see a mare smiling at him. The mare is a unicorn with a cyan coat. She's wearing a pale yellow hoodie. The hoodie is covered in minor paint stains. Tyrius immediately recognized the mare. It was Tezzy Scribbles. She looked happy and had a full horn. Tyrius approaches the counter. He could tell Tezzy didn't immediately recognize him, so he knew he would have to introduce himself all over again.
Hi there. I'm just kind of browsing at the moment. I'm kind of new in town. I'm Tyrius.
Tyrius replied.
Well, welcome to Appleby, Tyrius. I'm Tezzy Scribbles.
Tezzy replied with a kind smile. It wasn't long before the two became fast friends. Tezzy even offered him a job, to which he accepted. He was very helpful in organizing. A year later, on a warm and sunny day, two bat ponies came in. Tyrius immediately recognized the two of them, Alma and Stella. Looks like Alma never went into a coma.
Welcome to Tez Studio, strangers. Can I help you find anything today?
Tezzy asked with a smile.
Hi, I'm Stella, and this is my sister, Alma.
Stella said.
Hello. You have a lovely shop here.
Alma said with a kind smile.
Thank you very much.
Tezzy said. They conversated some more. Tezzy introduced Tyrius to them. Over time, Tezzy and Stella grew closer and closer. Eventually, they fell in love. Soon enough, Tezzy proposed to Stella. Stella let out an excited,
Yes, I will.
On the day of the wedding, Tyrius walked Stella down the aisle. Tezzy and Stella are now married and life couldn't be any better. Tyrius always kept an eye out for anything Typhon related, but no threats of Typhon ever emerged. He got to live his life fully until his time came. Stella, Tezzy, and Alma all shed tears as they said goodbye to their dear friend. Tyrius thanked them for being a part of his life, then he shut his eyes for the final time. Suddenly, he woke up to find himself in the presence of the barons. However, he wasn't afraid and never regretted his deal with them.
Hello, mortal. I hope you didn't forget your deal with us years ago.
The first baron said, then chuckled darkly.
Don't tell us you forgot about us already. We're going to have so much fun.
The second baron said, looking at him with a dark smile. The third baron looked down at him with a sadistic grin.
You're going to be with us for a very long time.
The third baron said, then started laughing.
I haven't forgotten. I remember our deal.
Tyrius responded. He spends what feels like eons with the barons in a system with each of their domains and responsibilities. Tyrius knows this isn't permanent and eventually the barons will let him pass on. But for now, his memories of the good life he had managed to create for himself and his friends to keep him company. And no matter what, he is glad for what he did for himself and pony kind.